So there's a new psychology. I call it a psychology. It might be more of a philosophy that I've been toying with, and I call it system psychology. And system psychology, well, the way it came about is I had a friend who was suffering from anxiety. And obviously, you'll see some implications from Eastern mysticism and spirituality here, as well as Western mysticism and spirituality, because the idea behind system psychology is to start to get rid or diminish the sense of I. And you diminish the sense of I to reduce the amount of pride you may feel, as well as the amount of guilt or shame you may feel. So I had a friend who was having anxiety, and she kept saying, I have anxiety, it's just who I am. And something about the way she was saying, it felt off to me. I was like, you don't have it. You're aware that you're experiencing this thing, but really the emotions we feel are just sort of systems that interact with the world. So the system, the mental system, the emotional system, and how they interact, it's a matrix. A matrix is a system of systems. So your emotional system, your spiritual system, your mental system, your physical system, this matrix, this system of systems has anxiety, is interacting with the world in a way that from it emerges anxiety. So you don't have to change, you just have to change the system. And it sounds like a minor alteration, but what I've found is when I take my eye out of it, and with my friend who has anxiety, when she took her eye out of it and started to look at her anxiety as a system, almost like, you could even say it's like a weather system or a weather pattern. And she was the space in which this weather was happening. So she started to say whenever she'd feel anxiety, the system is experiencing anxiety. And she could start to separate the system from herself. And the self isn't really an I, it's more of a presence that's more diffuse. It's an awareness, a pure awareness, I think, more than like a concentrated I. But anyways, when you say affirmations, when you say something positive to yourself, like, I love my life, you could start to say the system loves this life. The system loves this life. And, well, it's still in an experimental mode right now. And I want you guys to try it. Whenever, especially with negative emotions, whenever you're feeling bad, I want you to say the system is feeling bad. When someone, it's a classic example, but when somebody cuts you off in traffic, or when the tourists in New York City stop at the top of the escalator, I'm not angry. I don't want to kick them. The system is angry. The system wants to kick them. So, but I really, when the little things, I constantly catch myself. I want to do this. No, the system wants to do this, and I'm just a witness to the system, if that makes sense. Now, how you alter the system, well, it seems to alter the system by merely acknowledging that it's a system and not mixing your I in with the system, okay? So this is the first video. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit, system psychology. I've started to write a lot about it just to give you a taste of it. So I guess we'll get more into it. I have a lot of ideas about it. We've been trying it a lot. But the core idea is to stop using the word I verbally. That's how you employ it, or at least with your self-talk. You start to say, instead of saying I, you say the system. And it seems to be more true, too. It seems to have, there's a truth to it. That the I is this awareness that's pure, it's a self, it's more diffuse. It's not even really an I. It's something that watches. It's almost more of an EYE than the letter I. And you stop feeling guilty. You feel like you can fix it. And you become a bit more compassionate, because the system is like a software program, or the systems that interact with the information that comes in. The systems are set up in a certain way that they just respond to the influx of information naturally. That's the way the system, that's the way a system that's set up in a certain way will react a certain way. So what you have to do is start to alter the system. And one way to alter the system is to start to tell the system what you want. This system is mad at the tourist at the top of the escalator that stopped right there. I want the system to laugh about that. See how you can say the system will laugh about this in the future. The system will laugh about this in the future. And then you can visualize the system, the automatic emergence of behavior and mood and emotion in the future. You can see it. You can see the system at the top, the tourist stop at the top of the escalator, and you smile and you laugh about and you calmly step around them. You can see that, and you're the witness to the system changing, right? It's almost the butterfly effect. You're making a small alteration in the vision, and the system, just that small little visualization, hopefully sets the system on a pattern to change completely the next time something like that emerges. And then you say the system will always react calmly to any situation. So hopefully these little small changes in the system to the little, what do they call them, peccadillos, is that the word, of life? The little annoyances of life, you start to react to those calmly. And then when something really bad happens, you've altered the system in such a way that in spiritual terminology, it's called instantaneous proper behavior. It's unconditional love comes out of the system. Okay, so just try to get rid of the I and see if that helps you change yourself, transform yourself in a more profound way. I feel like it does when you get rid of the I. I've done this, last point, I've done this when I'm working out too. I'm doing, I tried to do 500 push-ups to see if I could do it. I haven't done any push-ups. So I started doing it, and I'm at 310 right now, and I got 2 or 3 hours left to finish up, and I was tired around 80 because I haven't done push-ups in who knows how long. But I started saying the system is tired, and then I started saying the system does not get tired. And just by saying the system does not get tired and visualizing myself getting these 500 sit-ups, taking the I out of it and just thinking about the system being able to perform at this level, I pumped up to 300 and I feel pretty good. So I'm experimenting with it. It's a little all over the place, a little scattered, but I thought I'd share it with you. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Bye.